All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Lean and Mean Academy, where we talk about one truck, big profits. Today, we have another installment to What Makes a Great Website series. I got my good buddy Chris Lonergan from Footbridge Media on the line here. What's up, Chris?
What's going on, Aaron?
Man, I'm doing good. I know you guys are doing good down there in Florida. I know it's hot down there as it is in Tennessee,
Just a bit, just a little bit.
per usual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got on the line today, and we really wanted to talk about the advantages of having a website, but also why does a website take so long to get established, to get its authority, to really drive that lead flow that we're craving from a website. Basically, why isn't it instant gratification?
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that scares a lot of people off from websites. When we talk about websites, if we compare that to paid advertising, a website is an investment in the long term of your business. You're setting up the roots of your business structure and your lead flow, not just for tomorrow, for next week, but for years down the line.
I love that. And I know my site with you guys, I think I've been with you guys for like, I don't know, 4 years or something like that at this point. It's been a minute. It's been a long-term relationship, man. Is that long-term, long-distance relationship?
But we're still talking. We're still on the phone.
Hey, it's like, saying I got a girlfriend in Michigan. No, you don't. But really, it's been cool to be with you guys and watch my site, start out. I remember that I was like stuck at like number 6 on the first page for like a long time. And it was, it was frustrating, but you guys told me, you're like, listen, it's going to take 6 to 8 months, a year to really, establish itself. And I'm in a major city, so I totally understood. And I kind of had to hustle those other areas of marketing that I was doing, whether it was yard signs or flyers or Facebook ads. I was running Facebook ads and doing some of that stuff. But tell me a little bit about the instant grat and what versus what a website will do for you, long term as far as lead flow goes.
Yeah, and like you said, there's definitely a time and place for all those different components. When you're setting up a website, you're setting up the roots, you're preparing for the future, but you're not going to get that, especially if you're a brand new business, brand new domain name. You're not going to get a ton of hits right away. So to do that in conjunction with more of those instant gratification type ads, like you're talking about, whether we're talking about putting out door hangers, you do one job, you canvass the whole neighborhood to try to get more more immediate leads. Yeah, I think those things need to be done in tandem, especially in the early stages of your website, because you need that dollar now, you need that money now, and you need to be able to get that from other forms than just your website. Like you said, even in small towns, if you have a brand new domain name, it's going to take time for Google to recognize who you are, the authority of who you are, and to determine why you should show up over your competition, over the home advisors and Yelps of the world, why your website takes precedence. So when it comes to your lead flow, yeah, when you launch your website, you're not going to get 50 leads that first month. That's just not going to happen. It takes time to grow organically, and it makes sense. I think it's something you and I have talked about before. If Google was set up where you can launch a website up on Tuesday and on Wednesday you were number 1, nobody would use Google. It wouldn't be consistent. It wouldn't be where people get good information. So, we kind of got to play by their rules. That means you got to, be in it for the long haul and do those other instant grat ads, along with it in tandem. If you want to do, postcards and hit up whole neighborhoods and door hangers and yard signs and Google ads and Facebook ads, you can do all those things, find the recipe that works well for you. And then as your website does better, you can maybe pull back on some of that other stuff and enjoy that lower cost lead from your website.
Absolutely. I noticed that all of my leads now come from my website and with you guys. And I think Pierce as well, soft washers, he doesn't really do anything else. It's just Footbridge at this point. And that's because, he has driven. I mean, Pierce has got over almost 400 reviews across like many different platforms, a total aggregate total. But he hustles that. He hustles his photos. He is on, the visuals, and he's got guys, flying drones around his rigs and making videos, and he's doing all kinds of stuff to support those visuals and to support, looking like the top company, right? I mean, that type of thing going on as well with it. But tell me about a little how, because this is a question everyone wants to know why, and I call a website, it's kind of like a tree. It's like the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Well, you should have had a footbridge site 20 years ago, because if you have one 20 years ago, you'd be ranked probably #1 right now. But if you're getting started today, the second best time to plant a tree is today. Okay. It's not next month. It's not waiting. Okay. It's not, oh, yeah, you're going to wait. Well, here's the deal. An aged site is always better than a new site. Just is. Just always will be, if it's built properly, obviously. But tell me a little bit about why Google doesn't treat the local search like it treats a big box national search with as much, it doesn't treat the local with as much priority, it seems.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's one of the things, and Google, to their credit, has tried over time. For a while, they called it link diversification, where they try to get different links to show up a mix of local and national. But at the end of the day, it's sometimes hard to fight back against these really big national companies. If you think about it, if you have a really great pressure washing website with a bunch of content for all the services you offer, the cities you're in, the projects you have, you might have 100 pages on your website. You look at Home Advisor, they have thousands and thousands of pages of content on their website that is put together by multi-million-dollar marketing budgets that are all internet that work together. It's like David versus Goliath sometimes. But still, at the end of the day, if you do really well locally, you can still rank and outbeat those guys with the right tactics. Like you said, with that history of being an authority in Google. And Google tries to understand, your physical location of the searcher versus who's actually, coming up in those results. And at the end of the day, yeah, it's that authority that really makes it different. It's hard to sometimes beat out those big guys, those big guns with the big marketing dollars, but you still can do it with the content, kind of like what you talked about with Pierce, that really local content, getting those good pictures, getting those good reviews. Those are the things that help to expose you more locally and get you to show up over these national chains and these national sites that come up.
Yeah, it's like, because I've noticed that I beat out like Yelp and stuff like that, and I think it's because we've talked about this, but I think it's because Google knows that if they know that the customer knows that Angie's List is like big box, and the customer is aware that it's not a one-stop shop, meaning the clicks that it takes to get to a result on Angie's List is probably 5 to 10 times more than it would take for someone to click on your site and get a result, meaning click on your site, click the phone number, it calls you, right? It's 2 clicks. All right. It could be with Angie's List. You got to say, click the site. All right. Now, what are you looking for? What kind of contract are you? Okay. Well, now you're on the pressure washer. So you got 50 different pressure washing companies, right? All right. So now you got to enter your info. All right. Enter your name. All right. Where are you located? Cool. Enter that. Now they're doing, now we're going to send it all out. It's not as easy. It's sold to you easier, but Google's aware of how many clicks it's going to take for a customer to actually get a result. Says, hey, somebody's going to be calling you, or 17 people are going to be calling you in about 2 seconds, right? Yeah. And so I believe they're aware that the results that are given to the prospect are better with a local site, because people, they want to buy local. They like that process. They like supporting small business. It's kind of a trend. Also, it's at the end of the day, Google's aware that if they don't give you a good result that you're happy with, and you back out of these pages all the time, you're not going to use Google anymore. And we don't really have another option currently, but it could be just around the corner, and Google's never, ever going to risk that. So they're trying to give you the best result possible. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. At the end of the day, Google wants you to come back to Google. And that's why it's going to try to serve you what it thinks is the best result. And in some, if you're in some small town and no one's got a website, you know what? Maybe Angie's List is the way to go in that town for some reason, because it will be the definitive listing of all the companies in town. That's why when you show up with a website that works better, like you said, easier to use, that gets the results, that really is answering the questions that people are searching for in Google, you become that person. That's why you do better, because you're helping Google really at that instance. At the end of the day, we're all helping Google. We're driving more people to go to Google because it works. And, you want to show up at the top of Google, you got to play the game, and you've got to, like you said, get those reviews. You've got to be in the right spot with your website, and all that takes time. It's, it's like working out and eating your veggies and doing all the things you're supposed to do to make your business strong versus, getting that shot in the arm to get, a couple leads here and there.
Right.
You really got to do that legwork to make that foundation really strong, those roots really deep, so that you can enjoy and you can thrive, even in more hard times, you can still do well as a business.
So, all in all, what we're saying here, Chris, I'm guessing the conclusion is that, when you get a website, guys call you, they get a website, right? They need to just saddle up for 6, 8, 12 months to let this thing really get established. Maybe even sometimes longer if they're in like an area that's super like populated with pressure washers. I'm gonna tell you, like Portland, bro, it's a savage. And people got money. Okay, those guys have money to spend on SEO. They've got money. All right, so just look, if you're not serious about this business, let me explain something to you guys. If you ain't serious about this business, don't get it. Don't be getting a website, bro. Here's what you need to do: go out and pass out some flyers. Okay, go get a little summer money. You know what I mean? Go get a little beer money. But if you're trying to start a real business, something that has obviously changed my life, changed my brother's life, and changed a bunch of guys who have sites with you, look, you're going to need to saddle up long term. I don't even want you looking at the bill. You just need to go do a gutter cleaning so it covers the $200. And go keep hustling your normal thing, your normal marketing process day after day, okay, until that site is able to get the authority and catch up and maybe even surpass what your efforts are in the shoe leather marketing department. Okay. So, Chris, thank you for coming on with me today. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been fun. I was going to talk. Thanks, Aaron.
Hey, absolutely. And guys, if you're wanting to get a website done, and you're wanting to get the same company who runs my site for like the past 4 years, we're still sitting number 1, number 2, Nashville, and many of the other surrounding areas. Go ahead and click the first link in the description. It will take you to the Footbridge Media site with a lean and mean $199 deal that you ain't getting nowhere else. Okay, that's the deal, baby. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.